on his stuff the other day.
Because I saw something he posted the other day and I was like, wait a second.
No, he was just saying that like driving there gives him anxiety. And so I go to, yeah, I think that place just has big mental illness energy.
It does though.
So I was like, that's where I developed my finest ones.
Oh my god. Hi everyone, we're talking about our hometown that we grew up in. A friend of ours was like driving back there and he was not having a good time. Okay, well we're gonna get started in 4 minutes. So go ahead, get comfortable, grab some water, maybe some tea, and hang out.
Who drinks tea when they work out?
I was working out, this is like a de-stress stretch.
Yeah, maybe for those of you who are in shape. But now we've just been talking like all day. I was like,
Oh, you
how's
know
your...
Shmura?
Yeah, I was like, how's life?
You know who I'm
Time no see.
you invited him to start chatting with again the other day? Harrison.
Really?
Yeah.
How's he?
He's fine, he's actually getting his master's right now.
Is he not as ridiculous anymore? I don't know if I
He
can
seems a
handle it.
little less ridiculous now.
If he's still the same Harrison, I don't know if I can handle that.
He's a little more subdued.
He's just high energy.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. Hi, Morty. I almost brought over Lola, but then I was like, Lola doesn't really like other dogs, so I feel like she'd give it more big anxiety.
Yeah, he doesn't really like other dogs that much either.
Yeah, but he could have taken her. He's bigger than she is.
Penny beats up Marty, so.
Yeah, but Lola's a scaredy cat.
Have you seen my dog? He's doing so much better though with his anxiety medication.
Is the Prozac helping?
Yes, my dog is on Prozac and gabapentin. Because he has big time anxiety.
Guess what? We're officially on the same mood stabilizer now.
Oh my god!
He walks so strangely.
I know. I think he has like a weird curvature in his spine because like it goes up. Like you know how most dogs' backs look a little bit, either flat or even like a little bit like a U. His is like reverse U and upside down U. It's like he has this ridge right here. So I think he like walks a little funny because of it. Also because he's always so nervous. He's doing so much better, which is good. I love you. Oh my gosh, so today I was sitting in here and I was like, oh, it's getting super, super hot right now. I was like, what's going on? The AC's like on, I'm super confused. And I was like, let me go check my vent. I took out my air filter. It was so gross. It was like the color of that blanket. It was just like covered in dust. I don't remember the last time I changed it. But now it's so much cooler in my house. You guys know how every time we're doing this, you can play, we're like, wow, it gets so hot with all the lights on. It's because my AC has not been working properly. What?
I bet you that's why it's so hot in my house.
Oh, because you have to change it.
It's been telling us to change the air filter, and I've been ignoring it because I don't do house maintenance, but I don't think it's actually been changed.
Oh, it's really easy to change it. I can change it for you if you want.
We just need to go buy some.
Yeah, they're cheap. They're literally like
Right
50
ones
cents.
tomorrow. Oh, I bet.
Yeah, that's super cheap, but
Alright, weekend mask.
yes. Anyways, welcome to the Dancer Stretch. My name's Maddie. This is my best friend Siobhan, if you don't know us by now. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So we'll get started with our usual breathing. So laying down on our backs, coming into any comfortable position, maybe planting those feet, dropping the knees open into a reclined butterfly, or stretching the legs all the way out. Whatever feels best for you. Taking a few breaths here, relaxing into the floor. And we'll come together as a class with 3 nice deep breaths. We begin breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Last time, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Relaxing into the floor here. And on your own timing, we'll move through a body scan, trying to pinpoint any areas of tension or discomfort, any unevenness, and just melting into the floor. Your breath, is it even and steady? Checking in with your shoulders, are they pressed down away from your ears? And we'll come back together with 3 more breaths, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose and out through the mouth. One last one, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Gently blinking the eyes open. Way. Big morning stretch. Be moving the hips side to side. And reaching as far back as you can. And releasing into the floor. Digging the heels in, taking a gentle heel rock. Just shaking out any tension. And releasing into the floor. And gently coming to a stop. We'll bring our feet in towards our pelvis, taking our hands, we're going to place them where our thighs meet our hips, and just gently push down and out. Nice and gentle here. Just imagine creating space in between those vertebrae. If your back pops, that's totally fine. Just make sure you're listening to your body. Releasing that, dropping the knees side to side. Getting a stretch in the low back. stop. Gently rolling onto your side, pushing up into a seated position. Coming into a butterfly, sitting up nice and tall in those sits bones. We'll move through our spinal articulation, so releasing forward and rolling up through the spine. Again, forward, rolling up. Checking in with your breath, is it still even? Last one, forward and rolling up. Now we'll contract, drop the crown of the head to the floor, spoke it out, and flat back up. Again, repeat. 2 more times, crown of the head, spoking out, sitting up. Last time, crown of the head, spoking out, sitting up. And we'll just release forward here for a second. Feeling a stretch on those outer hips. Pressing those shoulders away from your ears. And rolling up. Crossing the shins over, coming to a tabletop position to move through our cat-cow series. So we reach the chest up, chin up, and contract into a cat. Coordinating your breath with this movement here. So big inhales for the cow, heavy exhale for the cat. Couple more passes on your own timing. And returning to neutral. Lateral C curve, side to side, reaching the head and pelvis together. Trying to stay level here. Getting a stretch through the ribs.
Sorry, I'm just trying not to flash everything.
It's a good call, it's a good call. And coming to a stop, moving into some chest circles here. All right, do you want to get in on this? You could use some exercise.
You said exercise? I'm out of here.
Reverse. And Marty doesn't even like walks. It drives me crazy.
He's not a very good walker.
He's not. And hip circles. And reverse. And pressing back with the hips, pulling the chest forward and up into a cobra. And 2 head circles to the right. And 2 to the left. And sending the hips back into child's pose. Dropping the right hip towards the floor, reaching the arms away. Doing a release in the hip flexor. And switch. Other side, dropping the hip down. And switch, drop and release. And last time, other side, drop, release. And coming back to center, rolling up, staying seated on the knees. We're going to go ahead and reach up overhead. And we'll take a nice little lateral stretch here. So grabbing the left wrist with the right hand, we'll reach up and over. Continuing with your breath here. And coming up, switching sides. And up. Again, first side. And up, second side. This is a good song.
I've seen them live. It was awesome.
And coming up. Oh, nice. And releasing the hands down. Next, we're going to do is stretch out our rhomboid. So I'll turn to the side really quick so I can show you guys this. But what you're going to do, we've done this before, is take your hands, wrap them behind your hamstrings, sit back, and then we're just going to lift up with the upper back to get a stretch to that upper back and sometimes into the lower back if you're super tight. So we wrap our hands behind our thighs, holding our hands, sitting back, and then just pulling that back up. So really like slouching, dropping the chin to the chest. For a deeper stretch, you can try to come forward onto the knees. And release. Rolling up. Sorry. Then we'll go baby camel back. So pressing the hips forward, reaching the chest up, and back. Good. Sitting off to one hip. Reaching the legs forward. We'll go ahead, release over, trying to grab the balls of the feet, and just walking the heels away. Walking the heels away, walking the sit bones back, trying to keep a flat back. Shoulders pressed away from the ears. Doing the best I can. Marty's back for moral support. And releasing forward. And rolling up. We'll go ahead, cross over the shins, pressing up into a downward facing dog and treading through the feet. Watch this, Marty's the instructor. He's really good at this one. And lifting the heels and the hips up. Keeping the hips up as we press the heels down into the ground. And he's sniffing my hair again. It's okay, I'm just choking on my necklaces right now. And gently lifting up the right leg. And bringing it forward into a lunge. How was my hair, sir? Getting comfortable here, feeling the stretch to the hip flexor. And let's go ahead and take a few cat-cow lunges here, so letting those hips fall down, knee bend, and pressing back into a cat lunge. Forward into cow, and back into cat. Forward, and back. And returning to neutral here, dropping the knee, untucking the toes, rolling up through the spine, And pressing forward with the hips for a hip flexor stretch. And releasing forward, tucking the toes, back up to lunge. We're gonna bend that back leg, bring it up into a pyramid pose. But instead of a regular pyramid pose, we're gonna turn out the feet into a fourth position. So toes pointing away from the midline. Try to release the crown of the head towards the floor. And turning back into parallel. We'll go ahead, plie that back leg, flex the front. And stretching forward. And plie back. Stretching forward. Last time, plie back. And stretching forward, bringing the foot behind for a crossed forward fold. Couple more breaths here. And sending that back leg back into a low lunge. Lowering the back knee, untucking the toes. Rolling out onto the outside of that left hip to reach back for our foot for a nice quad stretch. So it's not as much about how close the heel is getting to the glute, but more so how close the hips are to the ground. It's about getting into the hip flexor as well as the quad. For an even deeper stretch, you can flex that back foot. Have the toes pointing away, heel reaching in. And we'll go ahead, release that stretch. Planting both hands, we'll send the hips back into a runner's lunge or runner's stretch. Checking with your breath, is it even and steady? And releasing over the leg. And gently walking forward from this position, heel toeing the foot to the side into a lizard pose. So that back leg can be rolled in towards the ground. As the knee falls out, you can even take the foot and go onto the blade edge so the sole of the foot is showing. Yeah, I don't know what's up with him and hair. Is this it?
Oh no, I was shaking my head at you doing random stuff. Your feet, I'm like suffering.
You're killing it. Couple more breaths here. Checking in with the alignment of your spine, making sure that we're not too uneven, too tense anywhere. And coming back up to our hands, walking the foot all the way across into a pigeon stretch. For a deeper stretch, try to hit a 90-degree angle here, and to lighten the load, you can bring the foot in closer towards the pelvis. And whenever you're feeling ready, you can move down onto the elbows if you wish, or lay all the way onto the ground. Hi, Marty. See, before he wouldn't really come out during these as much. He was all stressed. This is his way of expressing love, I think. Couple more breaths here. And rolling up through the spine. We're going to go ahead and send the hips back, straighten that front leg, keep the back leg bent for a jazz split. Yeah, good.
Early voter sticker.
Oh, yay! Woo-hoo. And rolling up through the spine. Go ahead, square your pelvis off, or square your chest off towards your pelvis. And we're going to reach up and over towards that stretched leg. Trying to keep both sits bones glued to the floor, no space there.
People use this song on TikTok a lot.
This song? What? No way. Such a good song. And gently walking to the center of this, just folding over. And coming back up, laying back now for a quad stretch. So bending that front leg and leaning back to stretch the quad. If you're feeling extra zesty this evening, you can go all the way down to the back. And if you're feeling like you need even more of a stretch, the next thing you can do is bring up the leg that's not being stretched and try to draw it in towards your chest. I don't know why this gives a deeper stretch, but I did it in yoga class once and it was like life-changing. I mean, your foot is like under your butt, so it could be a little further out.
I don't think I can get it further out though. We're working with what my body can do. Ooh, that definitely does.
Yeah, I don't know why. It does. It's a good time. And back.
Sniff this time.
And releasing the leg, coming back up from our quad stretch. And we're gonna try to go for our splits now. So, stretching both legs, moving into your splits, and if you don't have your splits, go ahead and take a variation of any of the other stretches we did before. So maybe your hamstring stretch, a lunge of some sort.
I'm getting a great stretch right now.
Marty,
What's up?
probably smells Lola.
Probably. I would imagine that's probably what it is. It's my smell bad? Is that what you're trying to tell me? You're probably right.
The direct eye contact.
He's like, how dare you?
He's
Let
like,
me
mother
sniff
has
you.
warned you, no direct eye contact.
Let me sniff your whole body, but don't you dare look at me.
That's my dog, everyone. And sitting off to the side, crossing the legs over and pushing back into a downward facing dog. Treading through the feet here. Trying to get a stretch through the calves. Good. And heels up, hips up, leaving the hips up. We're going to press the heels down. Finding as much length as we can. Back to those legs. It's so much cooler here tonight. And reaching that left leg up towards the ceiling. Bringing it through into a low lunge. Getting comfortable here, feeling the stretch through the hip flexor. And taking a few cat-cow lunges here. On your own timing. And back to neutral. Dropping the knee, untucking the toes, rolling up and pressing forward here. This stretch is always a ton of effort for me.
It's hard to keep balanced.
Yeah, that's why.
Because like I feel like all my weight is going into my hands to push, and that just destabilizes.
Yeah. I just don't have stable ankles, so this is difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Dropping into the floor, lengthen the spine. And we'll gently release forward, tucking his toes back to our low lunge. And lifting that back leg up into a pyramid stretch. Turning out the feet. Squaring out the hips, getting stretch through the backs of the legs. And turning back in, taking a plie, flex the front foot, and stretch, transfer the weight. Plie, and stretch. Last time, plie, and stretch, bringing that back leg behind the front, crossed forward fold. Couple more breaths here. And releasing that back leg, sending it back into a lunge. Dropping the knee, untucking the toes. We'll go ahead and reach back for a quad stretch. I ran this morning and I hurt. It's hard to get started.
And it's also hard because I'm like, you know, not staying at my house.
Yeah.
So I'd kind of rather wait until I get a routine down and know all the areas to go there.
Yeah, that's true. Couple more breaths here. Flexing the foot for a deeper stretch. Oh my gosh, I feel this all the way up into my oblique.
Yeah. I love me some oblique angles.
Oblique angles. You're turning into your dad.
I'm sorry, but I've been my dad since day one, I'm afraid. What? You expect me to know the muscles of the human body? No.
Sending those hips back again, trying to square off. And releasing over. And gently walking forward into a lizard pose. So. And wait, ready? Lizard push-ups, go. Marty was like, what did I just walk into?
You smell my hair?
So strange. Why is he like this?
Hey, to be fair, the most closest he's come to me.
It's true.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, oh my God, don't say that. That's so inappropriate.
And coming back up onto the hands, gently walking the foot over for a pigeon stretch. Marty. Why are you like this?
I don't know what's so interesting about me today, besides the fact that I smell like lip.
Marty.
I mean, I don't really mind. It's kind of funny.
It's definitely funny, but he'll like do it like for like a long time.
It's kind of like a head scratch. Marty, no one's played with my hair in such a long time. I think Ryan's gonna be mad. Who is he?
Who is he? Who's the man that's scratching your head?
You look in the air.
Yes. Oh, I don't know why he does that.
I guess I just smell so tasty.
And coming up, stretching that front leg into a jazz split. Oh.
Off he goes. He said that was a good one. Thank you.
That was a good one. Thank you. And coming up, stretching side, keeping both sits bones pressed into the floor. Aww. Are you referencing llamas with hats right now?
What is in the line of sight of my eye right now?
Oh,
Literally 2 llamas.
2 llamas. 2? Where are you getting the second one?
2?
Oh my gosh. Right, the pillow. And then there's a tapestry there that you guys can't see, I don't think, that has a llama on it. And coming up. And when we were in high school together, we watched these really stupid videos. It's like a video series called Llamas with Hats. So
I'm sure they know.
was imitating one of the llamas as she looked at my llamas. It's so funny because people come to visit and they'll be like, wow, you really like llamas, don't you? You have a lot of llama stuff. I was like, it was for Jordan, who is gone now. Llamas are cool, I guess. More of a dinosaur gal though.
Me too. We do both have one on our body.
This is true. We both have dinosaur tattoos.
Mine's bigger, so that means I have to be a bigger dinosaur fan.
Ridiculous. I got mine first. Because I turned 18 before you.
Wow. Crazy.
And coming up. And bending that front leg, falling back into a quad stretch somehow in this space. Well, I'm going to pick up this leg anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll pick up my leg to make space for you.
Thank you.
What?
Oh, never mind. I was like, so that way. Different.
Oh. And coming back up. And moving into your split or a variation of it. I watered my plants today and they all look so happy.
Should have gone in to go check on my plants. I picked up my backpack, but I didn't. I'm sure they're fine. I watered them the day before I left, and I usually don't like to water them for like a week, so that's good.
That scared me so bad.
I was like, huh?
Like, what was that? I was like, oh, I'm already outside. And rolling off of the hip, coming to a comfortable seat. We'll take a few arm stretches here. So taking that right arm across the body, pulling the elbow away from the torso as you're pulling the shoulder back into place. Nice oppositional energy here.
ask you a question, but then I realized it's just me being a STEM person. I need to stop. I'm like, what is oppositional energy? I'm like, it's not a physical term. Stop it.
He
really likes the shirt.
I know.
It was, at Target for like $2.50. You could get yourself one. They had a bunch left in stock.
This man. And switch. Getting that tricep, maybe into that deltoid.
Switch? This is a new exercise.
Oh, well, these usually come together, I feel like. That's why I always say switch.
There you go.
Were you there on that, let me think of this. Were you there on that 5th grade field trip where I dislocated my arm doing jumping jacks?
I was not in the same elementary school.
Oh wait, that's right. Guys, remember we did it and then we did this stretch and I was like, ow, this really hurts. It was because my arm was dislocated. Doing jumping jacks, people.
No, we just had terrible injuries at my elementary school.
Oh good. What fun did you go to?
Oh no.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, some kids stepped on me.
That happened to me. It didn't go through my foot, but I was lucky.
Yeah, they had shut down one area of our recess playground because they didn't want them
to know.
Well, they didn't know how many more were gonna be out there, so.
Yeah, it's true. I'd be like, kids, don't look at anything.
Yeah, someone fell and broke their arm from the monkey bars,
Fun.
Normal things.
All right, let's finish out class with our 3 breaths. So sitting tall on our seat, closing our eyes, dropping that tailbone down towards the floor, reaching the crown of the head up. We take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose. And last time, in through the nose. And out through the mouth. All right, awesome job, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to take class with us. It was such a great time because this is not only, fun for me to teach, but it's also good for me to do this. It's good for her to do this too.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys. Thank you so much. Stay safe, stay well, stay healthy. We love you.